How is that one?
Hello, welcome to another episode of the Long Hop Cricket Podcast with me, Owen. Alongside me, as always, is Dave, and you can also have our new introduction along with us there. How's your couple of days been, Dave?
Good. Yeah, not too bad, actually. Nothing new to tell the podcast. Getting over a cold.
Okay.
Which I am
a little under the weather.
That it affected my performance in the last podcast.
I would agree.
How are things with you anyway?
Yeah, good. I had my birthday over the weekend.
Oh.
So,
did you have a nice weekend then?
yeah, it was good.
Anything
Really
special happen for your birthday?
No, not particularly. Just a couple of meals out with different people. It was nice. It was good.
What do you think about my appeal?
Good, but I would like you to go into more detail of your actual actions of your body, because people can hear it, but are going to have no idea of, like, are you a Stuart Broad? You just run away appealing, or have you turned and faced it?
Well, I think I'm going to bowl like I'm bowling doubles out, so I'm like Paul Collingwood, maybe slightly
a bit slower, isn't it? Really, let's be honest.
So I don't actually have much of a follow through. I'm saying this like this ever has happened,
right? Yeah, but
if I was a bowler,
you're just little dobbly little cutters, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And what, you just turn
so
straight
round?
Just,
well, I've got like a couple of steps and I turn round.
Was that appeal a definite out, or was that appeal you're asking?
I'm actually going to be somebody who just turns around and goes, "Well, how was that one?"
Oh, so that wasn't your real appeal.
Well,
that was a put on.
Maybe that was a definite out then. How is that one?
So you're just appealing for the
crowd. My hands are also coming up as well, aren't they?
Okay.
Almost like, are you not entertained?
Like, I don't think he does that in Gladiator, but okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Good. Just to mention something quickly. After the next episode, so once England have finished their whole tour of India,
that's the next episode.
Yeah. Then after the next episode, the last 2020, we'll be doing a comment section again. So if you want us to talk about anything, we're going to go through the comments. On
Wednesday.
On Wednesday, after the last 2020.
So yeah, if you've got anything to say, we've got a few comments backed up.
Yeah.
If you've got anything to say that you want us to have a chat about, that can either be future podcasts, what you want to hear from us, if you think things are going well or what needs to improve for the podcast.
Or,
just
anything to do with the
general
England
stuff.
cricket
Or
team,
a happy birthday for Owen, maybe.
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
We'll go through all of those. Hundreds of them.
But like Facebook, wouldn't it? Them 6 that people you still speak to. Anyway, let's crack on with... Oh, I haven't done the news yet.
Okay, have you got any news? I'm guessing you have.
Yeah, I have, yeah. I've got the Perth Scorchers.
Yeah.
They've just gone and won the Big Bash. They boast a couple of England names, don't they?
Yeah, I think it was a pretty one-sided game in the end.
Ian Bell's had a really good time out there with the Big Bash, which is not. I quite like Bell.
I think Bresnan's done quite well as well.
Presley actually is probably a good T20.
He's quite,
player.
He is.
He's just
I think
very versatile, isn't he?
Yeah,
maybe not
useful.
Great in the field, but good pair of hands.
I don't think he's bad in the field though.
No,
I don't. I think you're right. He's not great. He is big, chunky lad.
But anyway, yeah. So Belly and Bresnan will have picked up the trophy there.
Chunky lad.
Neither of them get anywhere. Neither of them get anywhere near the T20.
No, they're too old, aren't they? Doesn't matter how good they are. We're not the Italian football team.
The England squad for the ODIs against West Indies, which happens next month, has been announced, and it's the same squad as we've got now.
Right.
Obviously, Hales is still injured, so he won't be able to make it. With Billings, will continue his role.
I was wondering, what's he doing? Is he injured? Still injured?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Is that
he just doesn't turn up, does he? Just goes somewhere and he's like, nah, I'm not coming this time. But hey, if he's injured, he's injured. So he's going to struggle to get back into that team now.
Yeah, especially if Billings.
There's so many people up for his place.
And talking about injuries, Steve Smith has been ruled out of the ODI series between New Zealand, and that will be a big blow to Australia, I can imagine.
Who do you think is more important to Australia, Steve Smith or Warner?
David Warner.
Yeah, me too.
I'd
go for him. And he's brilliant in the field.
And I just think he comes in and he just sets the tone with the...
Yeah, and he's got so long that if he fires for the... Do you know what I mean? He opens, so if he gets going...
How many times has he scored over 150 as well?
It's crazy.
It's incredible, big scores he made.
Yeah. Shame he's got such a nasty-ass bat.
What's his bat?
It's like the Kaboom. It's his bat. Gray Nichols come to him like, you can design a bat. What bat?
Design his own bat.
It's like Kaboom, and it's got like horrible big orangey stickers all over the bat. Not what I'd have gone for. but he's serving him quite well. Anyway, should we get into the game?
Yeah, so India record their first winner of the T20 series.
Yeah,
level it up 1-1. India win by 5 runs. A brilliant game, I think.
Yeah, it's good.
A game that is balanced between bat and ball. The batsman didn't run away. This is what I prefer to see with the ODIs when we slagged it off for watching India score 317, England score 316 one day. A pitch which kept low, maybe spun a little bit more.
I think
it was generally just not enough bounce.
Good decision by the team selection, isn't it? To pick an extra spinner, and the pitch has proven to be
England bring in Liam Dawson instead of Plunkett. We're Plunkett fans.
I don't mind either way, really.
T20. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like the pitch, good decision. But would you be upset with Plunkett being in the team? No.
I actually think England, their bowling lineups in T20, they've got T20 specialists. I think their bowling lineup in T20 is probably better than their bowling lineup in ODIs, even though a lot of it's the same players.
Right.
I just think we're better at T20s when it comes to bowling. And Mishra comes in for the Indian side. I don't know who for.
Okay.
Put it
okay, right.
But they've replaced one spin for another spin, I think.
Right.
England win the toss, choose to field, which is something that will happen
thing now, isn't it?
Day and day, especially with these two teams.
Yeah.
They both love to chase. India actually, I thought they could have scored more, to be honest. 144 for 8. I actually think they probably were slightly unlucky not to go and pick up 160 because they lost. They were at one point 125 for 4.
Yeah.
Went to 144 for 8.
Yeah.
Wickets tumbled from the last 5 overs.
And 144, you're thinking England will chase that?
Well, during the last game, I said 144, they'll chase that all day.
That's what I was thinking.
This pitch was different. England, I think they put themselves out in maybe a bit more of a negative mindset. If I was going to be critical, Roy Billings at the top of the order. I just watched you hit the young spinner, well, the little guy, Shao, for both got a 6 each. In the over, they took 15 off him. And the next over, Billings looks to slam it over, gets caught.
How's that being negative?
No, I'm saying that those two were fine, but then because they went 2 down,
I see what you're saying.
Things just changed. Okay, I actually think Billings, fair enough, you've gone for it. But Roy, lapse of concentration. I'm sorry, but you've just watched one in a pitch that doesn't bounce surprise you, get stuck in the wicket. I'm not having it. And then I just think Root and Morgan, maybe, they'll say, well, we had to stay in there. Do you know what I mean?
You're not a fan of that, are you? You're not a fan of that rebuilding, are you? People just like, you get in, just keep going, just keep smacking.
Well, I just think maybe if they would have had this mindset of, if they were setting, I think England would have made more runs, even if it was exactly the same conditions. I think they looked at
you've always got you've always got the scoreboard pressure chasing.
But I actually think it wasn't a pressure today, especially early on.
I think if it's a total you should be chasing, you're in trouble. It's like in Test matches. But I mean, how often do England struggle when it's a total you should be getting
144 for 8? You'd say, well, we don't have to be going at 10 and over.
I know.
So you could spend time getting yourself in. Now, if England were setting, they might have gone quicker. They might have lost more wickets, but they might have gone quicker.
So you think sense? They should be going? Because you said they should be, but you're saying they've got the chance not to have to be so aggressive. So which one do you want?
Well, because England lost, they probably should have gone more aggressive.
Right, okay.
But I think it's hard to say. Maybe I got it wrong with Dhoni last week or last episode.
Right.
Maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe you need time in T20 to get yourself in. But I just think England would have made more runs if they would have set a target, even if it was those conditions with the ball being damp.
I reckon it's like 3 or 4 balls. I think you've got in 2020 to get an idea of how the pitch is playing and how the ball's coming through, and then you need to start playing shot, not smacking it, but you need to start accumulating runs.
You see, Joe Root 38 off 38, Morgan 17 off 23. I honestly think those two would have if the position, I'm not having a go at them like I did at Dhoni. I think I was probably a bit cruel when I was chatting about Dhoni last episode. Right. But if they were setting a target, I don't think they'd be going to either run or a ball or less. I think they'd be trying to hit at a better strike rate than 100.
You reckon they'd have got more, or do you reckon they'd have got even less? Because it was a tricky pitch.
Yeah,
and India bowled well.
I'd like to say England would have got more, but I could just be wrong, couldn't I? They could have got half the scores and got out.
Two wickets in 2 balls doesn't help, does it? Any chase?
No, but then both Root and Morgan. There's over 50 balls there. Well, there's 60 odd balls that they've taken up.
We've lost this through people sort of the equivalent of getting in and not staying there. Because quite a lot of people have got in, but not really.
I tell you what, I think we've got in. I think we've lost this through a brilliant Indian performance with the ball, especially.
All right.
Mishra, I wasn't that. He went all right. I think Bumrah did brilliantly. Nehra did brilliantly.
Was it the penultimate over? No, it wasn't. It was the one before that, the third to last over.
Yeah.
The 18th over, he went for 2 runs.
Yes.
And that just killed the game. It's like, now you're in real trouble.
I think England got it down to, was it 9 off? Was it 9 off 7 or 9 off 6 they needed?
Yeah.
But then the England pace bowlers bowled really, really well, I think. They both brought in, Rayner, the part-time off-spinner, had 4 overs.
Yeah.
It's actually, looking at the lineups, you think this would be a spin-heavy wicket.
Right, yeah.
But the pace bowlers for both teams did better than the spinners.
Yeah, I think the thing is you pick them because the pitch is sort of a bit sticky. Is that right? Just like it's
this idea that
it doesn't zip through, or it's not got bounce and pace in it.
The ball gets stuck in the pitch.
So you think for spinners that's going to be really good, but actually it probably makes, like you see, quite a big difference when you bowl quick and the ball does get sort of stuck. So the ball coming out of the hand, and when it gets to you, after it pitches, it's making quite a big difference to your timing.
What both teams did really well was not bowl full length. Well, not even bowl a good length.
Well, yeah, because if you bowl full, it doesn't matter, does it?
Well,
it doesn't matter the pitch. You could just play it when it.
They're bowling slightly back of a length, which we've been really critical of. But it worked like in previous games.
But it back of a length and short.
It worked really well today.
Yeah.
It was short. A lot of balls were short, but then they find it very difficult to score off runs, and there was a lot of variation in pace.
Yeah.
And
which the pitch will help with.
And the way that you release the ball, whether that is you're looking to make it seam or whether you're trying to cut.
Yeah.
Some skillful bowling out there, especially with the pace bowlers, actually. I think Stokes had a really good game especially with about 38 of 27. He just got out from.
Are we growing into Stokes fans now?
Yeah.
We are, aren't we?
I think we are.
Yeah. It's just the sort of maturity he's getting.
The funny thing
seems to be much more reliable when he gets in.
We've just said that, but Stokes got bowled first ball.
Yeah, I know.
No ball.
Yeah, I saw that.
From Mishra, a spinner.
Yeah. That's so bad.
There's no excuse.
I got told off for that.
What, bowling a no ball?
The bowling a no ball was a spinner, and I had a bit of a laugh. So you should never do that.
Oh, there's no excuse.
You can't. How? I was thought about that afterwards. I was like, it's right. You can't bowl a no ball as a spinner.
And Mishra's only about 3 foot tall.
Yeah, and it's 2020 as well.
So it was great. It would be funny if Stokes would have been able to hit the free hit for 6, but he'd scooted away for 1. But yeah, I think Stokes as well. Actually, something quite funny happened with Stokes in the Indian innings. Stokes bowled the ball, hit the wicket, hit one of the stumps.
Yeah.
One of the bells of the lights flashed.
Right.
The bells were never dislodged.
Yeah. Well, the light flashing isn't out, is it? That's not the rules.
No. But then, does that pose a question of what's the point of the lights?
No.
Well, if the light flashes and you're in a run out,
they can be helpful.
Then the light flashing, you're still looking for the bails to be taken off.
Yeah.
Off the stumps rather than the lights flashing. So the lights actually being there maybe is more of an entertainment thing rather than.
Oh yeah, it's definitely an entertainment thing.
That doesn't help.
It's not an aid for the third umpire.
Which
it can be, but that's not what it's there for.
I don't know. I think maybe
definitely not. You're telling me they've brought that in to aid the third umpire?
Yeah.
No, you're having an absolute laugh. Why don't they have it in test matches then?
Well, why don't they have coloured clothing in test matches?
Because they use a white ball.
Then they could use. What about?
I mean, they use a red ball, so you just have white.
What about when they use? So what about when they use a pink ball in day-night matches?
Well, it's still okay with whites. You can't use a white ball with whites, can you?
Well, why don't they not use a white ball then?
Because it's completely different. You have a different.
There you go. It's completely
it doesn't
different.
last as long.
It's a completely different game, isn't it?
You still have run-outs in Test matches.
Yeah, but then we don't. We also don't have coloured stumps.
That's perfect proof that it's not being used.
Why don't we have coloured stumps in Test matches?
It's not being used as an umpiring aid. Otherwise, they'd have it in Test matches.
Do you not think these Test matches are more conservative in the way they show?
So it's there for entertainment. If it was there as an umpire aid, they'd have it in, just like Hawkeye, isn't it? If it's an umpiring aid, you go, well, it doesn't matter. Change the lights to not being bright red and flashy ones. Have a bit low key.
So you think maybe it is then, but I think from what the commentators were talking about when this was hit was Sky Sports commentators, that is, was maybe the ICC should look at this as in not to take when the lights flash as effectively out.
I think that's pretty obvious.
So,
isn't it? I mean, if a third umpire's going on when the lights flash, then they don't know the rules.
Well, yeah, exactly. So maybe you're right then. Maybe it is entertainment.
Definitely.
So
and also, if you're
earlier, maybe not.
If you're in the crowd, sometimes when you get bowled, if it just clips like a bail or just you don't know what's happened. It's like, well, what's happened there? And if there's massive lights going off, you're like, wee.
Talking about umpiring in general, it was poor today.
Do you think they get
three or four decisions?
They get a bit more relaxed when they know that the players don't have a review. I
don't know. I don't know why we don't have a review in T20. It's effectively downgrading it as a game of cricket. Why should bowlers or batsmen be disadvantaged in a T20 compared to what they are in an ODI or a Test match?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's ridiculous.
Either have it or don't.
I think there was 3 or 4 LBWs or Nicks. Joe Riggs got out and he adjudged LBW, but he had got an inside edge. Kohli, I think, got one, or there was a couple of LBWs in the first innings.
Right. Edges you can have some sympathy with because it's got to be hard to hear.
The umpiring was poor, but it wouldn't have been. We wouldn't be talking about it now if we had.
No, I know.
One referral for each team, and I think you should bring that in,
especially with LBWs when they've smacked it into their own pad. It's got to be horrible.
We normally blame somebody, don't we?
Right. Yes.
But we've gone into this episode slightly. England couldn't make 140 in a T20, but we've gone into this episode slightly, fine with that. If you were going to blame somebody, you're going to blame one of the batters or the bowlers.
Should we have another go at Rashid?
Should
we blame him? We've been having a go at him recently.
I actually think, I can't believe I'm saying this, Adil Rashid and Moeen Ali both bowled well today. Yeah. Dawson not so much, but I don't mind Dawson coming in going for 2 for 20. It happens, doesn't it?
Yes.
I think Rashid and Moeen actually bowled well today.
Yeah, well.
And it's weird because Moeen Ali's now picked up 2 for 20 something in the 2 for 22, was it, in the off his 4 in the first one. He's gone for 1 for 20 off his 4 in this one. Looking at those figures, like, he must be a brilliant bowler. Well, same with Rash, really, but we didn't see it.
It's 3 overs, isn't it?
We didn't see it previously. I'm fairly happy with the bowlers, I think.
I'm not really upset. The thing I've already said.
Oh, sorry, but Jordan picking up 3 wickets. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm a
big Jordan fan.
Yeah,
he bowled 90.
I think that's what I don't understand. Like, I think England could do with an express bowler in the Test team.
Oh, but he's not a Test player.
Yeah, but I know. But it's like I don't know how you can do that. Do you know what I mean? It's like he can bowl 90 miles an hour. He's obviously talented. Looks like he's pretty fit. It's like, why isn't he trying to play Test match cricket?
Well, because he has played Test match cricket.
Yeah, I know, but
and he just isn't as good as bowlers who can bowl slower at Test matches.
Anyway, do you reckon he's just not got the beans to do it, like the energy?
I just don't think he has. I don't want to say temperament or technique. I just don't think he's an out and out. He's an out and out T20 player. Not that maybe he's one of the fittest people. If you look at him,
yeah, I know
he is.
That's what I was questioning his fitness. But I don't think he's getting gassed, is he?
I don't think
that's why he can't.
Just think he's just one of the natural things. Like
not his format.
Maybe you wouldn't probably ask Roy to open the innings in Test matches.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Good point.
I did interrupt you. What were you looking at the batsman?
I was just saying that I think what I would target is getting in and getting out for England.
Yeah, though I think
because people are openers, all right, but 38, 2 38s, and then a 17 and a 15.
It's
and these
T20
are good. These are good players.
Should I tell you what? When I first watched T20, I had this idea of did stick cricket used to advertise this way? Hit out or get out. I remember thinking that.
Right.
And
I think that's still pretty much your attitude now from how you talk about it.
It's T20. I think you can get out whenever you get out. I was a little bit peeved that the way the wickets fell. Root was unlucky, but Root looked pretty gassed actually. 38 off 38. He really found it difficult towards the end of the innings. I'm not looking to blame anyone. Honestly, I just think that was just a brilliant game of cricket.
Yeah, I think it's a good game of cricket. I think especially as we've been talking about how difficult the pitch was, if you get in, I think
so
you should be staying there.
Maybe
and just doing.
You think that Raul innings of 71 off 47?
Well, that's brilliant.
But even if you got 71 off 71, do you think someone
that's
like
much
that
better? Yeah, that's what England
won the
needed.
game?
That's what England needed, I think.
Because that Raul innings was.
Because I think you can have that then. If Joe Root carries on, you can have people getting out for 17s and 20s, and someone.
I think Joe Root was, but then I think Joe Root. So it just got a little bit messy.
I think it's a good test match. Good 2020. It's just a good game.
Do you know what? I think what made it really good was
because no one tries to get out, do they? So
we've been guilty actually in T20 cricket and ODI cricket that if someone mishits it still has a chance to go for 6. That gives the bowler nothing. If the bowler's won the battle and then he still goes for 6.
Absolute pet hate.
Now the shortest boundary was something like 70 metres and that was straight. So miss hits unless you top edged it. But what I'm trying to say is that the miss hits, Owen Morgan had a miss hit going to counter corner, got caught. About 10 yards in from the boundary.
Right. It's just this is such a pet hate of mine. I'm going to go into it. For my Sunday team that I play for in the summer, I prepare the pitch. I get up on the morning, I prepare the pitch, and I lay the boundaries out.
Right.
We play at a private school, right, and the ground is huge. The actual playing surface is massive. I always put the boundary out as big as the surface.
Okay.
I cannot bear bad batsmen getting runs. You have a short boundary, a miss hit, and it's like, no. You have to hit the ball well and be technically good to hit boundaries, and that's how it should be. So, I'm absolutely for big boundaries.
Who did I see scoring? Ben Stokes, 90 metre 6 today, and he didn't even follow through.
He's a big lad, though. He's huge, and the bats are massive now.
But I am a fan of this bigger boundary. We've seen like 60 metre boundaries, like Cal Corner being 65 metres in some of these.
Stupid,
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's just like.
I just think we've got to say hats off to India.
Just a really good game. I want to see more of that.
I'd love to see Wednesday be a similar game rather than it be 220 play 210.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to touch upon? I think that's probably.
I think that's pretty much it for the game. But I would just mention if you want to comment, now's the time to do it between now and the next one.
Yeah.
Because we'll be looking at them before we do the next 2020 podcast, and then we'll be going through them.
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll be talking about it. So we'll probably have quite a good section at the end. Might not spend so long.
So hopefully at some point next episode. Well, we've got coming to talk about, but we would like to have some more. We will break the show up and we'll have some part of the show. We'll be talking directly about your comments. Maybe if you don't think this is the best way to do it, maybe you think the best way to do it is for us to directly speak to you. That is through writing, but we'd rather bring it in the show.
Yeah,
wouldn't we?
I think it's much better in the show, isn't it?
I think the more you guys comment, the more frequently we could have a discussion with you guys in the show. So make sure you send anything over comment-wise between now and Wednesday. That's either on this show or you can find us on Twitter at Longhop Podcast. You can find the links in the description below. that's everything from us. Make sure you give us a like if you've enjoyed the series or enjoyed this podcast. Hit that vital subscribe button. Thank you for everyone who has subscribed so far. We will be back Wednesday, and then you'll have to keep involved for every podcast involved coming up. So that's every Sunday after that. But the best way to do that is by keeping subscribed. Go and tell a friend.
Yeah, well, the target between us was 20 subscribers by the end of the 2020, wasn't it?
If anyone can remember, who listened to the end of the year, then 2016 year podcast, you said you're
50 for the year.
Do you think we are ahead of that?
Yeah.
You think we could? Yeah. We could do.
We should surpass that.
Well,
I got a question. Quick, do you reckon we'll break 1,000 for this one? Because going by it, when India win, and it's a shorter formats, that we've got more views. Do you reckon we'll get 1K?
Indians will be asleep now, won't they? But tomorrow, when we're both at work,
what do you reckon?
Might catch on. It's so difficult to.
I think we'll get over 700.
Oh, it's going to be
over 700.
Well, a successful podcast amount of views.
Go on. What are you going for?
I'm gonna say no.
What are you going to say? What number?
I'm going to say we'll get, I don't know, 180.
Oh. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. But we're done. Thank you very much for listening, and get them comments in.
Thanks.